And I wanted to add one more thing too. A lot of times when we talk to people about alternative energy, the issue of cost consistently comes up because it's a practicality. You know, people are concerned about how much does something cost. But one thing that I've learned is that sometimes, and even in this project, we might have to pay a larger sum up front. Okay, you've probably heard that in other products or in other areas. But the advantage of doing so is that, for one, it's going to pay for itself, and then it's eventually going to pay for you. So, for example, the solar panels. They eventually pay for themselves in approximately 10 years. So after that 10 years, your energy is free. So after 10 years, you're getting free energy while your neighbor who didn't purchase solar panels is still paying for their energy. So that's an advantage. Same thing with the structure. The structure of our house, those SIP panels, you might pay approximately 5 to 10% more originally, but after 5 years, your panels are paid for, and your house is stronger, it's better insulated, and you're using a better product for the environment because whenever the house is being built, you're not going to have as much waste. So that's something that we've had to learn is that you might put more up front, but not only is it eventually going to pay for itself, but you're also doing good for the environment. And that's something that you guys really should grab hold onto and help promote to other people, this idea that you might in the beginning have to go the harder route or the more expensive route, but in the end you're doing something that's better for the environment, you're doing something that's better for yourself, and then it's eventually going to be paying for you. So that's something that I've had to learn, and that's something that I'm really glad I did so early on, because now I can change the way that I decide to make purchases and decide to live as it goes on. Yes?
I'm a little confused.
Well, what are you confused about?
You said that after 5 or 10 years, you're getting free energy, but when you already getting free energy when you buy the house and when you start living in it?
To an extent, yes. You're not paying for that energy, but you did have to pay for those panels. Those panels aren't free. You have to pay those panels. You have to pay for the inverters, which convert the energy from the sun to your appliances, to your, everything that you're using in the house. And so that's what I mean by after 10 years. Because for the first 10 years, you might still be paying for those panels. But then, after that time comes, then it's going to be paid off. And from that point forward, it's free. If you have cash in your pocket, then that's a different story. But, you might have to pay for those panels for a while. That's comparing it to, do you understand better now? Okay, good. Yes.
So, just to tell you guys a little bit about what we're doing, we've got the advanced team of students that is working on building a game or a model of sustainable energy.
Okay.
And specifically, we're focusing on the community level, not necessarily on countrywide or statewide level. We're not necessarily looking at power plants. We're looking at what people can do on a community level. And I see this, and I don't know what the students think. I hope they see the house as a component.
I think you
This
should
house
have the microphone so you can tell them what you see, how they can apply it.
So this house serves as a component for a sustainable energy community. But I'd like to know what you guys see as other important components, other possible ideas that you bring to the community level that would help to enforce and to reinforce this house as a component of a sustainable energy community.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, and I realize that's what your focus is here. I'm really glad that you think of it that way. We're not individually able to make these changes. As a community, I think that's really what we need to do. We need to think about, as a community, how we begin to save energy, produce energy, promote sustainable living. And so we've always thought about Beausoleil Home as part of a larger organism or a community, and that one home by itself is not the solution. So we actually are studying different places where the home could exist as a community, some of them being the horse farm, certain neighborhoods in Lafayette. There's actually a development and a developer who's considering building 66 of these homes. And the idea is that they would function together as a community. You would have variations among the homes so that there would not be this monotony. You would have shared amenities between the homes. You would have shared community services. You would have walking proximity through walking distance to work and to places that you need to purchase things. So River Ranch is actually a model of a sustainable development where there are businesses and stores that you can walk to. We could talk long about maybe the property values about creating a sustainable community in terms of mixed income. But the ideas and the principles there are valuable and important. And so all those things work together, not only the idea of an energy efficient home or alternative energy, but the idea of a community that does share services, shares amenities, supports each other. That's all about sustainable living. And we hope that the Beausoleil Home kind of fits into that in the long term, that it becomes part of our community, can be produced at a scale that really does make a difference. Did I answer your question? Begin to touch on some of
To some
this.
degree, I'd really love to hear what your opinion is on other components that would be part of the community. You talked about, businesses that are always along with business. But are there other pieces of technology beyond a smart home that would be useful on a community scale for helping to create sustainable energy network?
Mhm. Sure, I mean, this competition kind of requires that we are insular in a way, self-sufficient homes, but these solar panels don't have to be integrated into the architecture. They can be integrated into any kind of shading device, really not only horizontal services, but vertical services in a neighborhood, in a community. So parking areas could have photovoltaics integrated into them, producing energy for the entire community. Wind turbines could be incorporated. We're not allowed to incorporate wind turbines in this competition, but wind turbines could be incorporated, although in Louisiana they're much more effective on the coast than they are here in the city. You could have shared filtration and remediation. You can have sewage that's treated in that way, gray water that's treated in that way. You can have rainwater collection to supplement the water, the potable water that you receive from the city. So there are many, many different strategies that can be implemented not only at the scale of a home, but at the scale of a community. But it does take kind of this first step of a home that then can start to grow. And the authorities and the institutions of the state need to begin to accept and promote these systems. Because right now they're still considered as kind of new and I guess against the status quo. So even something like collecting rainwater for drinking is frowned upon by the state because they believe the health issues associated with that. But I think it has to be proven through filtration and other methods that'll work. So is that more specific components that could be used at a community level?